Basically, there's like a conversion fee or conversion rate and stuff from where he's over in the UK. And I honestly never knew that was a thing. Never even like thought about that because Twitch is a US based company. So with this, in the United States, for those new streamers that may hear this, you guys may see this on YouTube or something. If you're starting out streaming and you hit your affiliate, you know, tier, and you basically start to be able to earn the right to make money through Twitch, you're going to have what's known as a 1099. In the United States, a 1099 is basically a tax document to where money that you receive from Twitch is not taxed. So what that means is at the end of the year, when you have to file taxes, you need to actually be setting back money for yourself to cover those taxes because it's all going to come out at the end of the year. A lot of people don't know that when they first start out.
What do they say, 30% of what you make?
They tell you like technically it's supposed to be like 12 to 17%, but like I've always had people tell me, dude, do 30, like what, a third of whatever you make,
just to be safe.
Put it away, because there's always something like that can come up differently with your tax codes if you hit a different tier. Like you make so much money, you're in a tax bracket, then all of a sudden you make like $2 more, you're in a whole new tax bracket, and like you get charged more. So I've always been told 30%. But that's something that we have here. Mole Bunny, do you guys have anything like that in the UK?
Not that I know. I know that we did. I think if we earn over £1,000, we have to file our own taxes as self-employed, but we don't have any advice in the direction to go with it. We have to kind of research it and dig it out ourselves.
Gotcha. But do you guys have like a, like when you guys hit that threshold, do you have like a certain like tax form or something that you're given?
We don't get given it. No, we have, like I said, we have to go through it all ourselves. We have to like basically being a Twitch streamer and Twitch streamer alone. You have to learn how to be self-employed while you're doing it. That makes sense. Like you have to go about it yourself to figure it all out. Twitch don't offer any help for us in that regard over here, so it's
that's really weird.
Yeah. Because I know. Okay, so like, explain your conversion fee thing that you were talking about. Because I remember you brought it up one time, and I was just like, "Wait, what?" Like,
I'm looking. I'm gonna get on my channel analytics now. Basically, we obviously get paid. Obviously, it comes through as dollars, and obviously it's a 50-50 split. But let's say 50 subs is it's £200 for 50 subs. If you get that, then in the UK that should technically be £100, which would be like $120, I think, or something off the top of my head. But after it's been converted down into how much we should earn, you actually get more like $80. So you lose $40 immediately just from being in the UK for the conversion rate of it. So it takes it down quite dramatically. So we have to earn, like, if you want to be a full-time streamer in the UK, you probably have to earn double the amount of what a full-time streamer would have to earn in the United States to
what it sounds like.
Equal the same similar sort of wage. Which
so
does kind of suck.
So well, essentially, like that 50-50 split, it's not even that. It's really like more like you're getting 30% out of the 50.
Yeah, 35%, something like that.
That's crazy, dude. That's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. What the hell?
I mean, obviously, bits, it stands the test of time still, so you still get 100%, but even once they've come through, the conversion takes off, like, I think it's about 10-15% of bits, sort of thing. Like, I don't know exactly how it works, because it's not like it's documented how it works either. They don't tell you that that's how it happens. It just happens. So it's like just over the test of time, I've been like trying to pay attention to it and kind of whittled it down to them sort of numbers for it. So it's it's a hard grind if you want to do it full time in the UK, definitely, for sure. Like, even if you get in like the stupid amounts of subs and stuff, it's still very hard to make a feasible living from it.
Yeah, I just remember like you talking about that and stuff, and then I think you brought it up with like Bunny's charity stream and stuff. Like I remember that's like another thing
because
that got brought up.
I think it said something. Was it like $1,000 Bunny or something like that?
I think the actual like analytic was like $800 and something.
Yeah, we had 130 in tips, or not tips, but donations to Team Pick Me Up that went straight through. And then I think your thing was like 800 something or whatever
which
put out.
that'll probably work out when it converts down. Even though the pound shouldn't be that, it's not that far off, but it'll probably convert down to like you probably get about. I think from about $800 you get about £550, £600,
That's
something like
crazy, man. That's
that.
crazy.
When in reality it should, like, if you're actually doing a conversion rate, if you were getting £600, you'd be getting about $720, I think, in total. But because of everything that goes on top of it, it's stupid.
That's crazy.
Costs a lot. Yeah.
So what would you recommend for like people that want to support the channel and everything that are like over in UK? I guess like what would be the best way to benefit UK streamers as far as supporting their channel through subs, bits, donations, like I guess like because that was something I never knew about, you know, and that's why when we talked about it, that's why I tend to give more bits than I do like
bits,
subs.
100% bits. But
Bits are
a lot of
definitely
people,
worth more.
Yeah.
So it depends on it depends on what you want from your channel, because obviously mass gifted subs brings a lot of new people into your channel.
That's true. Yeah,
so
true.
if you're looking at growth, then subs are better. But if you're looking for a wage, then bits are better. I guess would probably be the best. Obviously, tips obviously surpass everything. Like no matter who you are, no matter what you do with streaming, tips surpass everything. But if you're like me with money, tips are the worst thing because of you'll try and save it, but like it's just fucking like obviously bills and shit come out and all that crap.
Yeah.
It's so yeah, definitely bits I think, but I said it depends. Like I said, totally depends on what you want in the aspect of your channel. If you want growth, then subs, especially gifted subs, because they go out to people that aren't in your community and brings them in.
Yeah.
I've been through to like 4 new channels in the last couple of days because I've randomly got gifted subs. So, but yeah, I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on that one.
Yeah.
Don't know if Bunny thinks the same as that.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you still get it like in a timely manner, like 2 to 3 business days or something like that?
What's that?
Like when you get it to pay out to hit your bank, because that's to go through the whole process. Does it take a while?
I seem to be completely different to everyone. Like when my payouts happen, I'm with a bank called Santander, and they put mine for a security check. So when I'm supposed to get it on the 15th, that's when they'll do the security check. So then if that hits on say a Thursday or Friday, I won't go and get my payout until like the Tuesday or Wednesday while it's going through things. So like 5 to 6 days later if it hits on like on the Thursday, because of it's coming from an American-based company, so it has to go through security checks and stuff. So
Did you ever
PayPal, which gives me a fee for getting paid into PayPal, so it's just fucking can't win really.
See, that's what like irritated me with like the PayPal stuff, because I was gonna switch to that, and it was like I'm already getting hit a fee, and for like Twitch payout, like I'm already getting hit with their like hidden fees or whatever they do and stuff that you don't know about. But then it was like if I went to PayPal, then whatever went into my PayPal, I was getting hit another fee by PayPal. And I was like, dude, I'm not paying like multiple people fees for money that's been earned, you know?
Yeah.
And I actually tried to like look into for Team Pick Me Up with PayPal and see if there's something for like 5013C that I have, to see if there's a way that PayPal have, because some companies will do like charity based things that they'll be set up through to where people that donate to that, there's no like transaction fees, or there's no tax fees that's taken out of the donation. It like comes in as the full donation. And PayPal doesn't really have something like that from what I've like talked to people with. So if somebody, you know, donates $5, it's really like $4.12 that comes through, but it shows as it was a $5 donation and everything.
Yeah.
So but that like that kind of stuff with third party companies and things like that is frustrating as well, because you know it's I don't know, it's a hard thing because it's like it's your income, but you also have to like figure out the best way to get your incomes to where you can get majority of your income, like these other companies aren't getting it. If that makes sense what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I get you. I fully get you.
What is what's some stuff that you guys would recommend to like a new streamer starting out that's reached that affiliate status and they start hitting their payouts and stuff. Like, what would be some things that you would suggest they start to do with payouts, especially if they don't have like a lot of equipment, or like they're truly starting out for the first time.
Was it top?
That's a good question. I mean, having new content is always good too. Like, so, definitely new games, new stuff to play, whether it's like with the community, something that you'll enjoy, just, kind of put it back into the channel because it helps create new content. That's a really good thing to consider, especially if you got brand new stuff, or fairly new stuff as far as equipment goes.
That's fair. Rage, you got anything?
I guess it depends, like where you start out, kind of like what little Jacob says. It depends on your equipment, if you should reinvest it in yourself, if you're good where you are. I think it varies from person to person.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, I know over my years I've had to like, I started out with like this headset, using the microphone headset and stuff, and then got a really crappy mic over time, and then it was like, wow, this was like actually a bad purchase because this mic is ass. So I had to like then reinvest.
I've done that too.
And I had to reinvest.
Snowball mics, little white balls, the Yeti Snowball, whatever they are.
Dude, I can't even remember the first mic I bought, but that was
the first proper mic I bought.
It was
outside
bad.
of my headset.
But then
I would say that's important.
Yeah, like
that's important.
Audio is the most important thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Like buying my next investment was my Elgato Wave, which I've had now for, I'm going to say, like 18 months, and it still stands up. Like, I've got the first Elgato Wave, and I'd argue that it sounds better than a lot of the mics that are coming out now that people are starting to use. So it's just and then lighting, focus. Like, if you just buy a cheap webcam for like 20 quid, and then buy some decent lights to bounce off your wall and stuff, you're winning right there.
Lighting is definitely a big thing.
Pardon?
Lighting is actually like a big component to stuff.
Lighting is a pain in the ass.
It can be. It very much can be.
Especially if you have a green screen. Oh, it's such a pain.
Yeah. Because I don't know, like I remember just starting out, and it's like I think everything will look good, and then sometimes I go back and watch my VOD for clips, and I'm like, dude, why the hell is my room so dark? Like, I have the lights on, and it was just like bad lighting and stuff, and just stuff you learn as a streamer. Bunny, what do you think? Like, what would be some advice that you definitely give somebody starting out? They're starting to hit their payouts and stuff.
I don't know. I think everything that I would have said has already been said, to be honest.
Yeah.
I do think having a camera is quite important, because people do like to be able to see who they're watching.
I agree with that.
So that depends. Depends what avenue you want to take.
It's true.
Also, what energy you can put out.
Well, there's also, if you guys have heard of VTubing, a lot of people like their more animated characters and like to role play.
Yeah.
And not, show their face. It's just a preference. Some people are more comfortable with that.
I'm not gonna lie.
It does me too. Yeah.
Some of the figures that they put out there, I think it's more the mentality that some of the viewers take towards the VTuber. That kind of just creeps me a little bit.
I'm definitely interested in it, but it's expensive. It is hella expensive.
Yes. Yeah.
Getting somebody to make their models for you is like ridiculous.
See, for me, though, like I get the VTuber thing, and I respect it, because some people, they're self-conscious about being on camera and everything, and that gives them the confidence to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But like, I don't know, man. Like, sometimes I find myself like, I'll go in, I'll watch the game, but then I'm watching like more of the streamer than the game, because I know like what's gonna happen. I'm like more interacting, or I'm more interested in their reactions to things. So like, I know Mole, like when I hit his screamer thing in his channel, I'm just waiting for his head to turn and just yell at somebody. Or if something like unexpected happens, like I feel like I'm more watching the streamers' reactions to things than I am
I think
the
that's
actual.
more of an age thing, though. As bad as it sounds, I think the younger you are on Twitch, the more into the VTubing and stuff you are, and depends. Like, if you want to build an audience that are active and really, really, really invested in you, I think aiming for the younger audience can be a lot better because they're like proper hyped up over you all the time.
Yeah.
We'll all have chats and chinwags and like get along and have a laugh and stuff. But for actual, like when you go to somebody's stream and they've got all the hype emotes being spammed and all that jazz, you can guarantee that they're appealing to more of a younger audience because like it's easier to like tailor them in with that sort of entertainment. I think.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. One of the best things that, and I said it yesterday in your stream, I was like, I love how this is a thing now. Every time somebody,
we like to move it, fucking
yeah, every time somebody played that, I'd put on emote only, and we'd just go crazy with all of our dancing emotes.
You try playing fucking PUBG, right?
And dude, it was so much fun.
Get that sound with fucking Escape from Tarkov when you're on a raid, and let people blare that in your ears, and like you literally can't hear. Like I can hear Taz faintly going, "Guy in front of me, guy." I'm like, "What? What did you say?"
You need to
What?
adjust your settings.
No, bro, like
because I think the louder it is, the more fun it is. I think it's
airdrop, like in Tarkov, like when that comes in, like Bunny said something to me the other day, and I was just like, I'm not even acknowledging this. I can hear shit. Like it's just like it's just crazy in your ear.
Sometimes
like,
you just gotta say yes and hope that it was the right answer.
Yeah, I gotcha. And like she's over here getting shot by somebody, and I'm just over here looting. Because I don't know what's going on.
Sound, audio, 100% is the way that I would go with my first money. I think I'd invest in a good mic because you can get a decent. You can get like the Logitech's like 50 quid now. It's nothing special. It's like it's the best webcam out there. I think for the money. But yeah, go out and get yourself an Elgato Wave or a Hyper Quadcast X or something like that.
The
for
most
like
popular mic on Twitch. I swear to God.
The Hyper Quadcast X may be the most popular, but is definitely not the best. It's only because it's
It's
an
alright.
RGB mic why it's so popular. Just because
Like
it
hell
shines.
it is. This one shines red and only red. It don't switch colors. We ain't got no
It still
special.
lights up. That's the point. Like, why else have you got
It's
it in
only
your
the-
screen? Why have you got it in your screen?
Honestly, the reason I bought this mic is because of like me and a guy that I used to, or I still work with him, but he used to like mod for me and be in the channel and stuff. We talked about doing podcasting like at his house with a bunch of his buddies and stuff. And this microphone has different settings based off the room that you're in. You can actually like
You can change where the sound comes in.
you can
can't
yeah,
I can't
you can
remember what it's
capture
called,
sound
but it begins
360.
with C.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's like combustion. No, that's going up in
Something like
flames.
that. But you can basically capture like audio like 360 degrees.
Yeah, and
stuff.
you can change where it comes in.
Yeah.
Whereas mine picks up on the back and the front, which kind of I know I can change it, but I don't know how, and I don't want to fiddle with it. So.
But like that's one reason why I got it, and then of course like it didn't work out, and I don't even think he ever started his own podcast thing. Like he just kept talking about it and stuff, and I was just like, bro, just do it. Like I did it and stuff, and it's nothing special.
That's what you got to do.
Just do it. Yeah.
If you're right with cash, get something like the Beacon or the Shure, like the proper
Shaw,
type like microphones.
It's like the M7 or something like that.
Like, something like that, yeah. It's like the Shure MB7.
Yeah.
Like, they're like $300, but you will never, ever, ever, ever need to replace it. Like there will never be an upgrade that you need to do, sort of thing. Like,
don't you need like a
the Go MXLR thing? Yeah, the mixer.
That's like an additional expense on top of that expense type deal.
They're like proper studio mics.
Yeah.
So it's I think you can get the software on your PC for it though. I don't think you have to buy the mixer, but it's just the mixer that you buy is 10 times better quality than the one that you can get on like, as a program.
I've seen some people's streams and stuff that have them, and there's like some people are like, oh, there's not much of a difference. There's definitely a difference in those.
Oh yeah, they sound so professional.
Yeah,
is that the mic that's like really popular on like TikTok and stuff? Like it has its own.
Yep.
The ones they've got like right in front of their face, like here,
and they can almost hold it pretty much and move it.
Yep.
Yeah. You always see them moving it, don't you? The arm and stuff, bringing it closer to them, and it's like just leave it. Stop touching it.
It's never good
got
enough.
an expensive mic, you fucker.
Mr. Crazy Mike, I'm pretty sure that's what microphone he had and stuff. Or like
they're proper studio mics. That's why they're for like mixing songs and stuff on. But they're really like they're what all professional like the podcasts that get millions of views kind of thing. They're like the mics that they use around the table and stuff and all that jazz.
They're really good.
Yeah.
Well, and it helps too, like, because I don't know, like sometimes I've noticed with mine, it seems like there's like a directional thing. Like if it's right in front of me, it's okay. But like if I move it off to the side, it still picks it up. But like the audio, it definitely doesn't sound the same. Whereas that,
Yeah.
it's like it's capturing directly what's in front of it, and it's very
Yeah, which is why they've
it's
got it
been
like
clear.
here.
Yeah.
So they're speaking directly into it. Yeah.
One thing I would definitely suggest, like we talked about earlier, when you start to make your money for your affiliate partner and all that stuff, like definitely plan for taxes because you're not having taxes taken out. So plan for taxes. One thing that I would like definitely hold off on, and I did for a long time, is like Mole said, sound, like audio, lighting, camera, that stuff. But like stream decks, I've seen like past year a lot of people like they seem to like want to rush to get a stream deck, and
not the most important thing.
no, like you can actually use your phone to do like a stream deck. Like you can actually pay a monthly fee for your
The
phone.
Elgato Stream Deck for your phone,
Yeah.
mobile.
I mean, you
Yeah,
can literally
I
just
use
take
that.
it and like basically set it up sideways, and then it'll have like your little stream deck key thing. Like I think it's like $12 a month or something. I don't know that for sure, but I remember somebody was telling me about it. And but even like changing scenes and things like that, like if you have a number, like the keyboards that have the number pad on them, you can just go into OBS and you can hotkey those scenes. So you can hotkey it to like number 8, and I just hit number 8 and it goes to my be right back screen. I did that for like a really long time. But then I wanted to do like sound alert stuff and things that I wanted to add more to that I basically couldn't. So over time, I want to say it's like maybe a year and a half into me streaming is when I finally like actually invested in the Stream Deck stuff. So it's something like some of the stuff you'll hear about, you'll see, but it's not necessarily like a priority for your stream. It can help.
They are amazing once you get one.
Yeah,
but
it definitely helps.
also on the same side, after a while, they almost become not obsolete, but
Did yours slow down, Mo? Like the
mine
reaction?
is down, yeah, mine is like really it's really laggy.
It's delayed.
Yeah.
But it's they also you just don't use them as much.
Yeah, I actually found out stuff I started adding, and then it's like honestly half of my stream deck isn't even like filled out with stuff because it's like I don't even know what to put on this. Like
You don't have enough space or enough stuff to put in those spaces.
exactly, like
Because you can make folders on folders.
Yeah, like I wish I actually would have went with the 15 key one instead of the big one that they
100%.
got. Like, cause
Yeah.
I'm just like, this was kind of a waste. Like I'm not, and still now, like I have stuff on here,
Overkill.
like my soundboard.
What's up, baby?
Like
Take me out to
I got stuff on here. I never play it. Like I just played something in there, and it's like I always forget about this. Like I never even play this stuff. So, one thing like I will share because it's something that I've done this year, and this goes out to pretty much like all streamers. I don't know if you all can do this in the UK or not, or like how you go about this process. But if you are, I've been streaming for almost 5 years on Twitch. Okay, I'm to a point now where I have like consistent revenue that comes in monthly. It's nothing crazy. I can't go full time doing this or anything. But from the past couple of years with taxes and things like that, I've actually taken the time to learn more about how can I take what I'm doing on Twitch and actually like turn it around and benefit me instead of me just getting money and then paying taxes at the end of the year. And when I was going through, getting Team Pick Me Up to be an official nonprofit, I started talking to my CPA and some other people, and I said, well, I stream. I'm technically like a contractor. Like how could I go about this? And there's a lot of things that you can do with an LLC. And a lot of people think like, oh, to be a business owner and stuff, you got to have like a lot of revenue. You got to bring in people to work for you. That's not the case at all. Like I'm technically Selfless_Gaming is a licensed company in the state that I'm in. So everything that I do for my stream, things that I do for like my community. So like when I was buying I did the Fortnite tournament, okay? I bought a bunch of V-Bucks and everything. That is a business expense. I can write that off at the end of the year because that was something that I utilized for my stream that I gave away and that's technically a business expense. Things that I've also learned about, like subs, bits that I give to people's channels, that's advertisement.
Yeah.
That's something
Because
that I
you're
can actually
technically,
write off.
once you're affiliate, you're in a business, so your business is giving out stuff.
Yes, but like I always thought like subs and bits, it's just, money you're spending on channels and everything like that. Technically that comes off as advertisement because if you really think about it, if I give somebody 20 subs and my name's now on their channel as a top gifter and stuff, like kind of think of it like a billboard. Like I've just put my name up there on that channel and stuff. So like technically that is advertising. Things that I do and put out, or that I've bought for, like the pickle suit, the Cinderella
You got your bloody money's worth.
costume. Oh, bro, I'm wearing that thing out. It's starting to stretch at the seams, buddy. But like things like that, like your bean boozles, your spicy beans, your stuff that you do for subathons, things like that, like that's all things that you can write off for your company because it's what you've had to use for your stream.
I think you can also do like equipment you buy. I think you can write that off as well.
Yep.
It just has to be for that year.
Yeah, this past year I was able to write off my PC. I was able to write off my microphone, my internet to my house. I switched my internet within my house, and we actually have like two different services now. We have like a really cheap one because you technically have to have like a different service. I don't think you have to, but like if you get audited, you have to show basically that you do. So we have like a really cheap internet, and the internet that I have here is literally for my streaming and stuff. So I pay that separately. My wife pays the other internet bill, but that is completely 100% written off because it's purely for my business. My cell phone, making TikTok videos, making Instagram videos, making video posts and stuff on Twitter. I can take my cell phone bill because that's technically for my business. I can write that off, like monthly expenses and things like that. Like there's so many things that I've learned that you can do, and I'm not a big business owner. Like I'm literally self-employed, and we've started to learn a lot about this stuff because my wife, when she gets done with her massage therapy school, she's essentially going to be her own like employer. She's going to start her own stuff for massage therapy, fitness, things like that. So we're trying to learn about everything that she's done so far with her buying her massage table, the oils, the equipment, like everything she's needed. Like we've saved all this because that's going to be a write off at the end of the day. So there's a lot of things that people can definitely take advantage of and use, or like there's things that you're doing and you can take advantage of that like you never would have thought of before. So me personally, I wish I would have known about this 3 years ago when I hit affiliate, because I could have actually like helped myself during tax season. Whereas everything that I was earning and having come in during taxes, like that's actually going to my regular income that I earned through my job. It's kind of like I was getting double hit with everything. But that's stuff that like we're trying to share with y'all here. And depending on your state too, like I think it cost me like $400 total to put everything into my LLC, like get everything licensed and legalized and all that stuff. But at the end of the year, that could actually get me like a return on my taxes, whereas we usually pay every year. Like we usually owe taxes. So that could actually like make it, turn around and get us a return on our taxes. But
I don't think it's that simple with the UK to turn it into a company. I don't think it's because I know that I know one person has turned it into a company, but I don't know how they've done it because I've been looking into it and I've asked them about it, but I never got a reply about it. But
yeah, I think I know who you're talking about too.
Yeah, it's definitely something that is, I think, amongst the streaming community, at least from my knowledge, that is very limited about like people knowing about how to do it in the UK. I definitely think it's a limited thing. So
Well, that's why like I wanted Gerald's perspective on it because I don't know how things work like over there for like small businesses
Yeah.
and things like that.
I have no idea how it works over here, that sort of stuff. I've been doing this for like just over 2 years. Well, 2 years technically. And I am only just learning about like self-employed status and stuff for streaming. I didn't even know I had to declare it until like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So do you guys have to get a business license as well?
I do. If you want to be self-employed, I know that you do have to get a business license. But the thing that I'm struggling with is turning Twitch into a business, because from what I can tell, no matter where I look, nowhere says anything about turning this into an LLC or a business form in the UK. So it's just it's been a very, because I'd love to be able to do what Sel's just on about then, like writing all this stuff off and everything. So like my PC, I got that like 6 months ago. That cost me like over $1,000.
Well, see, like
PS5.
So for my business is not Twitch like oriented. My
Yeah.
business is content creation. Like that's what my business falls under, because that could technically be anything. Like that could be graphic design, that could be video editing, that can be pretty much like anything it is. So that's what like my business standing is like falls under, is content creation. And there's certain things within my state that I could have to have people like pay taxes on. So say if I like offered a service, there's certain things that like I would then have to go get a separate business license to sell that service, so that way that service can be taxed. Whereas if I do something like video editing for somebody in my state, that doesn't necessarily have to be taxed because it's a digital exchange of like a video and stuff like that. But other states, they have it in like a, you know, legal tax bracket thing or tax form where that's what they have to do. You know, that falls under
Well,
a
we
new
probably
thing
also
for
have
them.
to charge an arm and a leg for the service itself. Some people probably do it as money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is some people can actually they can like offer that service and stuff, and they can just basically say, hey, like I'm gonna charge you like $100 a video, like YouTube video and TikTok. Okay. Whereas my state, like I don't have to worry about charging somebody taxes to that. So like say in Pennsylvania, you could offer the same thing, but they may have to charge you $150 for it, because that $100 is going to come back to them, but the 50 is covering that tax like credit for the service that's being offered, or tax like portion that's being offered for. It's like, yeah, you're offering a service, but like your business has to pay taxes on the service that's offered, type deal. But it's there's a lot to it, man. Like there's definitely a lot to
so
it.
weird.
It is, and it varies state to state.
And it changes from state to state, because I'm pretty sure last year I had to get a business license because I made so much from Twitch. They actually made me like.
So
pay
was
for
it your state or like where you live at? Because where I live at in my city like / county ordinance, they told me, they're like, hey, if just so you know, like if you make like a little bit more next year, like this would classify as a small business in our county, and you have to apply for like a small business license, which it was like,
That's
I
pretty
think
much
it's like
what I had to do.
$15 or something like that.
It wasn't super expensive, but it was still one of those things you gotta. If you didn't know about it, it's a hidden expense.
Yes, yeah,
Unfortunately.
yep, stuff. So it's I don't know. It's definitely one of those things that I've learned a lot about. And once you actually like learn the steps to it and like what to do, you got to track a lot of stuff. So pretty much anything like I buy, I'm going into my like bank account, printing off statements and stuff, putting them in folders and everything at the end of the year. And my CPA is gonna hate me, but whatever. Like that's your job, you know. But yeah, like in the UK, I don't know, I was wondering about it because like I feel like there's obviously people in other countries do it, you know, like they have their own business and stuff like that, but I didn't know how that applies to you all, how that works.
Yeah.
What up, Desi? What up, in Benner?
Had to say it like that, didn't he? Had to, because that doesn't sound weird.
Yeah,
Had to make it weird, didn't you?
That didn't sound weird at all.
I was definitely not gonna
harming the
read that
youngsters up,
comment.
you know?
I was definitely not reading that comment.
Some advantage.
Bunny, like, do you know anything about it or anything like that? Like in regards to small businesses or self-employment within the UK?
I mean, obviously, I've had a small business before anyway, and we would literally be able to write most of it off if we wanted to actually make ourselves self-employed from streaming. It would work the same way.
Yeah.
But again, with what Mole said, trying to find what bracket to put yourself under in the category of self-employed, that's the bit that, I mean, I've tried to look it up, and one thing says you go under like IT, another one says you go under media. It's finding that.
That's weird.
Yeah. Oh, when I was filling out my stuff, dude, there was like I may actually have the paper still, but there was literally like 5 pages of different codes, and it was like medical research, medical studies, like, and then it was like environmental, like, and it was like I had to put in these codes to figure out like basically like this is what my business is going to classify under, and I eventually just got to the end of it where it's like other, like because there's nothing like that falls under this content creation type stuff. So it's very, I don't know, it's very like frustrating in the beginning, for sure. But I don't know, like especially like Mole for you and Bunny, like where you guys like can like do your streaming and everything, and like I know Mole, you do it full time. Like I would really try to like look into that because, and when I say the whole turning your stuff into an LLC and all that, like you got to do it if it's going to pay for itself, essentially. So like if I maybe got 1 or 2 payouts a year, that's nothing that's going to like break the bank or like ruin me at the end of tax season, you know. But my long-term goal was to do this full time and hopefully like get to a point where I can do this full time. So I kind of like, if that opportunity ever does come and it presents itself, I can then already have my business set up and I know what to do, know how to navigate things and all that. So, but I've learned a lot, man, and I'm hoping at the end of this tax season, like I'll actually have a lot that I can like apply to it and actually benefit from it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, dude.
If not, then I just wasted a year and a lot of money. The same result.
Isn't that the American dream right there? It's just a waste a lot of money,
bro. There's a guy I work with, and he owns a farm, and I was like, how is it like being a farmer and stuff? Because he works in the plant and everything, works full time in the plant, works on his farm, and he's got like a really thick accent. He's like, well, son, let me tell you this. You gotta trick the government into thinking you don't make any money when you really do. That's how you do it. And I was like, Ray, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, dude. Like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But yeah, like he basically like, but ultimately like with what he buys for his farm, equipment, feed, like all that stuff that he has to put into it, he basically has to show like, look, I've had to spend so much to like run my farm and my business. I'm actually negative compared to like what I was actually able to sell through like cattle and stuff this year and profit from. And that's ultimately like what he was getting at. Like, you got to show the government like, yeah, I spent a lot, really didn't make any money this year, but like he obviously like has made money from selling his cattle and things like that. I think so.
Yeah.
Hopefully the government's not listening to that.
Listen to everything? No.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
That's not how it works.
Was the subject taxes today? No, so Inventor, we're talking about like in the UK. We've talked about this with Mole before. We're basically talking about for brand new streamers that hit the affiliate portion of streaming, where you can actually start to earn a revenue and income. There's things that people don't know about. So in the United States, you're given a tax form, what's known as a 1099. So basically, the government can keep track of how much you've earned through Twitch, but Twitch doesn't take taxes out of your pay. So you get everything from Twitch, and a lot of people may not understand that with a 1099, they don't take the taxes up front. At the end of the year, when you got to file your taxes, everything you earned has then been taxed. So you have to pay taxes at the end of the year. So a lot of people may, have a good year and start blowing through their money that they get from Twitch, and then at the end of the year, it's like, hey, you owe us $2,000-$3,000, and they didn't set money aside. So we were kind of
So
talking
you almost
about
want to make a new account, have
Yes.
like a banking account just for your stream payouts.
Yeah,
just to
and that's what I
save.
had to do. Like for my LLC, I have a
Mhm.
completely separate account for my LLC that my Twitch payment goes into now. I have my own personal account that I've had, so like my actual like work checks and stuff go into that. There's a completely separate account for the nonprofit, so like everything that comes in from PayPal to that, it goes out. Like there's nothing extra spent whatsoever from that. Um, it's a lot of tracking, but it helps. Like at the end of the day, because you're keeping everything separate stuff. So it's
Yeah.
kind of a pain in the butt to set up because the bank I went through, I've never had an account with them, and both accounts that I set up for my LLC and my nonprofit, they put a minus $500,000 hold on the account because they thought I was trying to basically set up accounts to money launder. I was like, bro, what? Like, well, you've never done business, and our security team thinks you're trying to money launder because actually the day that I set it up, I think that was like a really good day for Team Pick Me Up where we had like $400 or $500 come in. And then I like immediately put it in like a day later. It's like $500 went in there super quick, and it like flagged the account. It's just like what's going
Dang.
on here. But after all the documentation and stuff was like submitted, it was fine. They took it off, but it was just funny. I asked an accountant about it, how it worked here. That's what I was gonna like suggest to Mole. Like I would actually get with an accountant. Somebody who does like your taxes or whatever over there. See how you can like set that up. Because there's a lot of
Yeah.
things you can definitely write off, especially for you, like with all the stuff you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to it, for sure. Taxes is crazy here, but it has its benefits in here. Yeah, I've had to learn a lot with it. What do you guys? How do you guys like feel about taking your money? Because I saw a Twitter post on this, and somebody asked the question. I don't remember who it was, but they asked the question like, when you get a Twitch payout, should you put it towards your own personal goals, or should you basically like, they put it like reinvest it back into your community?
Yeah.
And I commented on the thing, or I didn't comment on it, but I saw somebody on there. Kaboosh, what up, what up, what up, Kaboosh? Welcome in, Raiders. But I saw somebody comment on it, and I said, I think that's like, up to the streamer, obviously, like whatever they have going on and whatever situation they're dealing with. But then I saw like a lot of different comments on it, stuff. So like, I want to get your guys' thoughts on it when you get those payouts and things like that. Like, well, I guess what are some things that you prioritize with your payouts, or you would think, or you tell like a new streamer to prioritize? What up, Weirdly? What up? Booyah. Sorry, the alert didn't go off and stuff. I don't have the stuff set up on Fridays for the podcast.
Podcast day.
Podcast day.
I'd say maybe you should try to balance it out. Like of course you got to have your own personal goals for sure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you're doing well and you're be able to have that opportunity to meet your goals, I think you should take time or use a part of that to give back to the community too, or you know what I mean. I think you got to try to find a good balance in between the two, especially if you have the luxury to have that, that
Yeah.
option.
That's fair. Caboose, thank you so much for the raid. I'm excited to get a raid from you. Hope your stream went well.
I think it depends on what you deem as give back to the community. Really, like if you're doing Twitch as a sole form of income and a job, then by give back to the community, does it mean by going and blowing loads on subs and stuff into other people, or does it mean doing giveaways for your community? Does it mean upgrading stuff then for your community stuff's better? Like where's the line drawn in what's giving back to your community and what's not? Because obviously, if the people who are supporting you have got you to the point of where you're getting a payout, then is it seen as giving back to the community if you go back to spend what they've spent on you in their channel, when in regard then you're just paying Twitch at that point, because
Yep.
if you're both supporting each other, then it kind of negates the whole point of doing it, because Twitch make more money off it than either of you two do. So it's just, I don't know, it depends on what you mean by giving back to the community.
Well, and that's where I was like, well, it's one of those like posts you see where you immediately go to the comments because you want to see what
Yeah.
people say, and
Judges people's reaction to it.
and a lot of people were just kind of like, like people
I
are
love giving back to my community.
it was like that. Like there's a lot of that. There
People,
was
you don't.
yeah. Yeah. But there was like some of that. It was like, oh, I always get back to my community. That's my priority. Blah blah. And then I saw some where it was like, honestly, I think like if people are investing their time and money into helping a streamer grow, like that streamer needs to apply it to like allow them to grow as much as possible. So like whether that's new equipment, whether that's like paying for advertisements on something. I know like Toby, for example, like she's an artist. She does like music and all that stuff. So like a lot of things that I don't know that she does this, but like things that she can do from what her community provides for her. I know she went to Vegas and she did some recordings and stuff like that. Could be something that she's doing to help herself grow, but also like her community wants to see her grow in that avenue,
And that, for me, that's giving back to your community, is by showing them that you're using the money
and
for what
applying
they
it.
want you to do.
Yep.
So to me, that's giving back to my community. Like if
You're
people want me to,
investing.
if
That's
people
a good
want
point.
say Selfless's charity to absolutely boom, then that's what he's doing. He's finding bigger like targets, people who need it more and more and more. And by raising the money, and the people that pay it, they're seeing the money go to what they want it to go to, which is a cause that needs it.
Yep.
Just like you said with Toby with her music, Lady Haradaniwa with her cosplays and stuff. Like she's really like booming in that regard. Like she's getting sponsorships and stuff for the cosplays that she does, and getting invited to all these things because of her community support. It's
Didn't she get like invited to like a Sea of Thieves like contest or something like that?
she's a head content speaker, I think, or something at a Sea of Thieves event.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw something
And
on
yet
that.
she's sat playing Dead by Daylight right now.
Hey man, everybody needs a break. Everybody
That
needs a
literally
break.
happened like a week ago. It's like, yeah, fuck your game now. I got what I wanted. Bye.
Oh my God.
But no, like, yeah, it depends. Like, if people expect you to spend your money back into other streamers, which is fair enough if you want to do it. Like I do it. I do chuck subs about a little bit because I feel not inclined to, but just makes me feel good knowing that I can do a little, not as much as what people do to me, obviously, but
Yeah.
at least do a little bit back and help other people that are in that situation.
You're putting in an effort, and that's what really matters.
No, I think knowing that my beautiful face is in your chat is enough to support the community, so it's fine. Don't worry
That's
about
the right attitude.
it. You know it, Jacob. You know it.
Well, and that's like
Selfish with his bloody jokes. He knows that they're enough to be giving back to the bloody community right there. He comes in, gives you laughter. If you don't laugh, he says, "Fuck you, I'm gone." Bye.
and that stuff like all that you talked about. I think it's fair. It's very valid. It's ultimately up to the individual. Like what it is they're trying to accomplish, what it is they want to do, and there's things that like I like to help people reach their goals. It's like I'm a very goal oriented person, and sometimes it's a blessing and it can be a curse as well, because it's like if I'm not on track to hit my goals, then I start like overthinking things like what do I need to do, what do I need to change, how do I need to get there type deal.
Why have these gone? Where have they gone?
Yes, yeah. And but like I don't know, like people for me that have shown support, have come in, supported me, whether it's just hanging out on the channel, subs, bits, like I've talked about before, retweeting content and stuff, post about like Team Pick Me Up. Like I notice who's doing what and who's like involved and making an effort to be there and show up. And those like I may not always like be able to drop tons of money on people or whatever, but like I'm gonna make an effort to get to your channel and support you. And if I can't get to your channel, you're definitely gonna see me like supporting your offline content like TikToks, Twitter, things like that, because like I'm trying to help you grow in the like avenue and the route that you want to grow in. But that's I don't know. I'm very much a person like if I see people, and it's not even myself. Like I did that selfless gamer program where I wanted to see other people, like how much like other people were actually being involved and stuff. And I take notice of like who's actually like making an effort to get people's channel, who I'm seeing around. And I know Mole, we've talked about it before, and other people like Baby Girl. It seems like no
Yeah.
matter what channel we go into, she's there.
She's there.
You know, and that's stuff that like I notice, and I always go and make an effort to like support her back whenever she's streaming and things like
Yeah,
that.
when she streams.
Because yeah, she was like hardcore there for like 2 weeks, and all of a sudden it's just like, yeah, I'm over this.
I
Like,
think I've seen her live once. I think
she went. She
it's
was
like
like
Inventor.
she was very consistent with it there for a while, and then I think she's like she's been sick like and everything, you know. And I think with some stuff going on, because plus she's hard to catch with her being in too. Because like when I get up in the morning and get ready
Was
for
it like
work,
a 12, 14-hour gap?
it's something.
Something
It's like
something like
21 hours or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think
Like-
it's about 12 for us for the UK, and obviously you guys are
Huh.
5 hours.
Because
behind
like when
us,
I
which-
get up for work, I can catch her streams, but it's already like Saturday
Yeah.
for her and stuff. So, but I kind of like when she was streaming because I could catch her stuff. Like that worked for my time. If she changes her time up, then you know I may never ever be able to catch her streams. It's just one of those things.
yeah,
So, what is going on here? See, even when said I'm not that wild. I mean,
apparently I'm tame.
Mole's tame.
If I'm tame, then fuck knows what all you lot are. Jesus.
I completely disagree with that. See, even when I said that, not that wild, you are. Mole's tame's like, screw you guys, I'm going home.
Can anyone else
what's up,
not
Soul
read that
Collector?
sentence about going, screw you guys, I'm going home?
Yeah, that's the first thing.
Even though that sounded like Beavis and Butthead, but you know who I was meaning.
You know they're bringing out a.
guys, I'm getting home.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Not sure.
Oh my god.
You alright?
You oh my god at me?
Yeah, you can't just say,
No.
oh my god, and mute yourself.
No, every time I unmute myself, my cat goes mad.
We can't hear your cat, and we want to see the
Yeah.
cat get attacked by the dog.
Oh my god.
I'm
Round
We all
not
know
two.
Rage lives for it. Look at his eyes when,
I think next
when you
week.
see it happen. He's
I'm cold.
Next week for episode 6, we're doing cat dog. It's just gonna be a Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
That's all we're doing. We're just gonna sit here and watch.
I'm game for that.
Everybody bring your favorite snack.
That'd be
Get your
really exciting.
drinks.
Who's holding the bets though? Who's keeping the cash in their hand? For the
Hey,
bets on who wins
I can
that?
set it up. I can set it up. I can put it. I can put.
It's for another non-profit.
Right, yeah.
Nudge, nudge.
Yeah. No, it's for a fundraiser, bro. It's for a fundraiser. We're doing.
Yeah. Oh, why would you go? That's just mean. That is. That's for.
It's for a
imagine-
fundraiser.
Imagine
For animal
holding a
rights, dude.
fundraiser.
For animal
But-
rights.
Yeah, but who's the rights for? The cat or the dog?
Whoever has the most money raised. Pretty simple. What's up,
Winner,
AJ?
chicken
How we
dinner.
doing? Cat, dog,
Hey,
and a
AJ.
bunny. My cash is on the dog. Well, all right. So a little backstory here. One of the episodes we did, I think it was episode 2. As we were sitting here talking, Rage just goes, stares at the camera, and I'm literally talking, and I'm just kind of like, what the hell is going on? I missed something, like in my head, like I've clearly missed something, and he like kind of is like, hold on a second. Did that dog just grab that cat by its head and pull it out from under your couch? And this was like all going on in the back. And then they basically just started like fighting and stuff in the back. It was actually really funny. So,
It deterred the conversation fully. Let's just say that
It was-
We were
it
just
was
like,
worth it.
Okay.
Dog
Okay.
is currently trying to start on the cat, but she's not having none of it.
so it was pretty funny.
Go dog.
I need to
that
go
was
back and
epic.
clip that. I need to go back and
You
find
really
that clip.
do.
So,
What was this conversation about?
actually, AJ, congratulations on hitting affiliate today.
You hit
Congratulations on-
affiliate. Let's go.
Woo, congratulations.
That was quick.
which is what we're
Did
talking
really,
about.
really quickly.
Talking about affiliation with Twitch or partnership with Twitch, and knowing that once you click on that agreement, you can start to earn a revenue with it. You will You know, you got to pay taxes, things like that. It's different in the UK compared to United States. That's kind of what we're sharing today. Is how Twitch payouts vary from United States to UK. How there's some other additional fees that come out for UK. So
I don't know. Going back, I don't know how much it is. I don't know how much it's on Twitch. I'm not 100% because I feel like Twitch would have to declare that fee. I don't know what. I just feel like they'd have to, but they don't. But it happens. So I don't know if it's more on the UK as a sense of money in and money out kind of thing. I don't know. But
it might be the UK because they're having to convert the money that's coming into your like country. They
I
might
don't
have to
know.
convert
Like,
it to what their
it's hard
scale
to
is.
work out. Like, I really wish that I wouldn't be doxing myself if I could show. But literally, if you like I said, if you look at my if you looked at my payout, like let's say for example when the Dane does his bomb, like he'll do his bomb on someone, right?
Yeah.
If you look at the take from it, like I said, it's £200 for 50, and after that's done, you'll see that in your actual like channel analytics, it says you've made like I think it's like $68 or something, and it's like
That
like I
makes
said,
no sense. Yeah.
that should be like $120 if it's a 50-50, but it's not. It's
No,
just weird.
I've never actually looked at it. It makes me kind of want to go back and look through mine to see if like they take that split because like it's supposed to be like a 50-50 split for affiliates or whatever. Like I've never really like sat there and done the math. So like I kind of want to go back and look at it.
If you went back to the day that let's say he did 100 or whatever, if you went back and look at that exact day, I guarantee you that it is. I'm almost certain it won't be a 50-50 split. I'm almost certain of it.
I'll pull this up.
I do genuinely think that Twitch are sly and they scam you.
I'm intrigued.
There's definitely I've seen some other
Hidden
people
taxes
talk
in there.
about hidden fees and stuff like
Yeah.
because like I'm sure you can look at a YouTube video and just type in Twitch payouts and there's like a breakdown of like what actually goes, things like that.
It's why a lot of people move to YouTube, isn't it? Like, because even though, or even Facebook, because I think Facebook gives you like 90% of your earnings through Facebook gaming.
Yeah, but it's really
nobody
hard.
watches Facebook gaming.
Yeah,
nobody watches it.
Like, they did that as YouTube, like a PR thing.
Yeah, and obviously Facebook could never go under. It's too big of a bloody fucking establishment, isn't it? Like it makes so much money from ad revenue that they've started plastering all over it that it doesn't matter how much they pay to their content creators, there's still extra money coming in for them.
All right, let me look at.
I still think Streamloot should do their own streaming service, though. I think that'd be amazing. But,
or you should be able to add your button onto your Twitch page.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Like a Streamloot's button on your Twitch page, and people just click on it instead of looking for a link. That'd be pretty.
Just tell that Twitch subscribe button to move over a little bit and have their own.
Okay,
have their, Streamloot subscribe button. Oh mate, if everybody would subscribe through Streamloots, man, not only would you have more fun because you get more than just because you can upload all of your Twitch emotes now to Streamloots.
Yeah,
you can upload the emotes and they get it there as well, and also to get those reaction things that you can do that come big up on the screen and stuff and all that jazz. Like,
actually, I have Streamloots. I've just never like pushed it because I have a lot of stuff in for Tarkov on there where it's like drop your inventory, all that stuff. Like,
I agree with Inventor. You could definitely do the voice series, Rage.
Inventor was getting a kick out of my voices earlier.
Like, not to like, have you ever thought about doing like voice acting?
No,
dude. Like, I know
I've always been able to mimic and make really weird noises that most people are just like, "The hell?"
Yeah, but that's
like, I don't know.
That's a thing, man. Like, I know a guy. Yeah, do your little like that shit, bro. There's a guy I work with, and I actually like reached out to him for Awkward Monsters, because she wants to do like voice acting and things like that. And he does like book readings. So he'll go and like people will send him a book, or he'll go in and he'll like basically put in recordings of himself reading a book, and he does like different voices and stuff for the characters or like situations and things, and then like there's authors who literally like hear these recordings for like audiobooks and they're like, hey, I want this guy to read it. And then he like
Man,
whatever.
sign me up. Where we signing?
I'll get you the info, man. Like seriously, because he'll do this stuff, and he told me about it, and he says like, yeah, he's like, it doesn't take me any time to do it. I just record it, put it in. He's like, if I got questions about it, like I can email the author and be like, hey, in this chapter, like what are you trying to capture here? I'm kind of confused. He'll put his own spin on it, but whatever like the book sells and stuff, he'll sit there and he gets like a percentage of it.
I would be a good voice actor. Oh,
I think you would. I really do. I think you would.
Oh, I'd be too damn nervous.
All right, so
I can do loads of like weird voices, but I can't do consistent voices. If that makes
so
sense.
how much would like 17 subs equate out to?
Well, 10 is what, $50 I think.
Yeah.
5 is 20, so that's 70.
I appreciate
and
you
then
guys.
the spare 3.
Well, 5 would be
like
25. It'd be 75.
So let's say like let's say $90. So say $90 or something like that.
So from the 3rd, looking at my thing right now, from the 3rd, I had 17 subscriptions, which y'all can see up there in the gifted subs, and everything. It came out to $58.47.
See what I mean? That's actually
So
quite
that's
close to like a 50 mark.
But I think
Whereas if I
actually there was a
Much love.
Is it like you
no,
should be
the
able to just
the
hover
prime
over
was the next
gifted
day.
sub mark.
The prime was the next one. I
You should
thought
be
there
able to
was
just
a
look
prime.
over the gifted sub mark on your channel analytics,
Yeah.
and then just hover and it show you how many you've got.
It was 17.
And
Let's see. It says revenue is $40.90. Actually, 17 subscriptions. It was $40.94.
How much? 40 what?
$40.94.
That probably works out around the 50% mark. I think. I can't say for sure, but because it depends on how they paid for them as well. Because obviously, if you've got like 17 subs individually gifted, you've made a lot. You've made like an extra like $10 on top of what it'd be if somebody dropped a 10 and a 5 and then 3, because you get like a minor discount, don't you, for doing it?
Yeah, I think they do that.
That's about 50%. That's about a 50-50, maybe just a tiny bit under.
But then that right there, like, you actually would get another cut from that for your conversion fee.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that's crazy.
Like if I go into mine now, I'll say what.
AJ, have a good one, buddy.
So if I go into my channel analytics now, let's go for August. So we're 6 days in. 56. So that's 200 and around £230. So it's about $260, I think, something like that.
Yeah,
about $260. My total revenue coming to me from around $260 is $87. Like, it's literally a third of the money.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
I've just pulled up the screenshot from the charity stream.
Yeah.
And I've just gone back to my analytics now, where it's obviously updated it, and Twitch have taken their bit or summarized it, so they've taken their bit.
Yeah.
It's gone from $870.65 to $626.60.
We called that
pounds or dollars?
Dollars.
It's going to be even less than that
again because it's pounds. Obviously, the conversion for it. So you're looking at about £500 from $800 and something. It's fucking. It's hard. Like
bits
to
alone,
make a livable wage in the UK, you need like 300-400 subs a month to make a livable wage.
Like the bits alone now, in comparison. So that was on $574, whereas now it's only coming up as $368.
Well, wait, on your analytics, did you capture just the month of July, or do you have like August showing at the top? Because
no, that's literally specifically pinpointed for that stream.
For that stream, oh my god,
that's what like.
That makes me. It actually makes me sick.
Drop say Selfless, when you drop your 5,000 bits,
Yeah.
or whatever, when you randomly do that from time to time, your 5,000, your 10,000 bits, that'll make me more than whatever I get in subs. Like I
Yeah.
could get 350 subs in a month, and that like 5,000, 10,000 bitty drop will make the same, if not a little bit more than the subs. Fucking, that's it. You'd need like the reason why my goal is always like 250 and like 25,000 bits is because of that. I know that covers like all my bills and everything. So
Yeah.
if I hit that, I know that covers everything and gives me a tiny bit on top.
Yeah.
Like obviously because I've done it for so long now, I've kind of figured out what I need to get from it. But like if I wanted to, it sounds really selfish, and obviously I know I could go and get another job, which I am planning to do, to get an overnight job soon. I'm just waiting for the right one to come around. But if I wanted to go out and enjoy myself for a night, I'd have to double that to be
Yeah.
able to go out and like
And actually
enjoy
like
myself.
enjoy life. Yeah. That's
instead
crazy,
of
man.
just spending my whole life at a computer doing videos and streaming and all that stuff. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy watching everyone streams, but it'd be nice to touch grass once in a while.
Oh yeah, I get that. Like I get
Are you
that.
sure you won't burn though if you do that?
Pardon?
Are you sure you won't burn if you do that though?
Oh, tell me, like literally, I take a step in the sun, right? I stay pale like all year round, right? No matter how much sun I get. But if I go out and my nose sees the sun, I look like fucking Rudolph. Like it's just my nose just goes. I'm red now. Fucking
Time for
dick.
that pepper that you
Hey,
want.
Payne. Good night, Payne.
Have a good one, Payne.
But
Go on, Jacob.
that's why I'm going forward. I'm just gonna give more bits because if he gets more out of the bits, then it's more worth it for him.
Well, I'm not trying to say that sort of stuff. Literally just.
But you have to be honest about
No,
it.
yeah.
I mean, it is
Oh
what
no,
it
you do
Yeah.
have to be honest about it, but like,
That's
I'm
what
trying to
this
make a balance
is.
point for everybody.
Yeah, that's what this is for, though. Is like
Yeah.
there's such a huge difference in Twitch payouts from like
Yeah,
a United States-based streamer to that of a
massive,
UK,
yeah.
and
Don't
like
get me wrong, it's not just the UK either. It's anybody
Yeah,
across
it's-
Europe.
yeah.
The tax thing's the same. I think Australia actually do better than we do, though. I think like
I was actually going to bring that
they
up.
called it now. I think they do a lot better than like Europe do. For some reason, the tax and stuff in Europe is ridiculous on Twitch. Like,
And see,
it's almost like they don't want to be involved with an American company or
I
something.
wish-
That's how it seems.
I wish I knew a partner that I could actually like talk with and like collaborate with to like get them in here, because I've known some partners and I've reached out to them when I've been in their Discord and said, hey, like kind of thinking about doing this event and stuff, and wanted to see if you want to be a part of it, and I never hear from them, you know.
Yeah,
And that's fine,
I
but
do-
like I wish we could have had a partner's perspective for this stream, because like there's things that you obviously hear about, like all partners get more of a percentage. It's like 60
yeah, they get
40 or
70-30,
something.
but it's changed a bit.
But see,
Um,
but
is that guaranteed though?
But I
It's
think
a-
that
it-
70-30 depends on the type of partner. Like I think they even take partners and they're like, oh
Different
yeah, you
tiers?
hit partner,
Scales.
but like you're like a top 1% partner. We're like the partners that are top
Yeah, like the Nick Merckx kind of
0.0001.
partners.
Y'all get 80% of your Twitch payouts.
Yeah,
because you're bringing
I
in
know
millions
they've
a
changed
month.
it recently as well. So you as a partner, you obviously still get your tier 1, 2, and 3s, but they have to set. They get like if they get so many subs, they get put into a tier 1, which means they'll get a 50-50. If they get so many more, they'll be in a tier 2, which puts them in a 60-40. And if they get so many more, it puts them in. So basically,
Gotcha.
if they get stupid amounts of subs, they get more of a cut
Of a cut,
the
yeah.
subs. But if they set it like our kind of levels of subs, they'll get the same cut as we do, because of apparently that's what the smaller streamers wanted. Like the Twitch tried to blame us for partners losing out on money. And it's like, we don't care what they earn. I couldn't give a shit. They've earned it. They're at that level for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care how much money they earn. But still, like, I think it's fair that we get 50-50 personally. I'm not too
Yeah,
bothered about
I don't
it.
know
But when
why.
they start taking
Yeah.
No, but when they start taking the extra cuts, then that's a bit of a dick move. But like 50-50 is perfectly fine. Like we don't exactly bring in big amounts of money for them, so why would they give us more of the money? Like
Yeah.
this is stupid. Like as a business, that's idiotic to give us more money if we don't bring in that much. It's
Mhm.
Yeah.
And Amazon's the biggest company in the world, I think, isn't it now? I
They
think it's
are.
literally the
I'm pretty
biggest
sure
company
they
in
are.
the world.
That's crazy.
No.
What's up, Neptune? How you doing, man? But yeah, I really wish like, and the thing is like there's several partners that like I could have reached out to, but I don't know, like if it's one of those things where it's like, hey, our podcast episode's about Twitch payouts and how it varies from the United States to UK. We would like to get your perspective on how a partner makes more money than affiliates. Would you like to come talk about this? Like, I highly doubt somebody
they'd
would have
shoot
been like,
themselves in the foot a bit, wouldn't they? Really.
yeah.
Mm.
Which I would never ask anybody to like share like what
No.
it is you make, but it's like what kind of is your breakdown?
At least a
compared
rough
to...
estimate. Is that where you're going more?
Yeah,
towards?
like what is your rough like breakdown during a payout
Mhm.
stage of like percentages and stuff compared to that of an affiliate? Because a lot of people when they go into streaming, especially on Twitch, a lot of people like celebrate affiliate, but then it's like, oh, I want to go partner. Like I want to hit partner. And to me, the only significant, and I say significant, and it's not a huge significance because it's based off your community, like, is when you hit partner, it just changes your payout structure differently. Like, you may
Yeah.
get a little bit more of a cut, but to kind of like sum it all up, like Mole said earlier, if you really wanted to like get a true revenue payout for like what it is that you're providing as content or like service, Streamloots. They do 90% when you're partner, right?
Yeah, 90%, no extra cuts, nothing.
Like
The only thing is, it's in euros, so there is still a very, very
Conversion.
minor like conversion fee, but it's literally minuscule. You don't even notice it.
See, and the thing I liked about Streamloots that made me interested in it is the payouts every 2 weeks you could do.
Yeah,
Because
you
to
can
me
either
it's
choose
like
every month or every 2 weeks.
because to me that is like a it's like a job. It's like actually
Yeah.
having a job. You know, you can
Bi-weekly
expect your
instead of
stuff.
monthly.
Yeah.
I've switched mine to get paid on the first, so that I get whatever small amount I get from Streamloots, I get like an extra little buff on my pay because it's in the middle of the month, so it helps me out a little bit.
Yeah.
But obviously you can do it on the 1st and 15th. You can get it all on the 15th, so you get your Twitch and your Streamloots on the 15th. You can like I said, it is really good. It does help spread it, and it's definitely something which I think me and yourself, Selfless, need to start pushing it again really hard, because when I pushed it, at least it went nuts. It was yeah, it's always that thing. It's like becoming a Twitch partner, isn't it? It's,
Yeah.
once you get it, it drops off. Right.
Well, see, and not like we talked about this privately. Like, I tried to push it and everything, and I remember one day, like I think Rage, I might have told you like don't spend money on Streamloots anymore, like because he literally bought packs for the community, and I like had like I don't know, 15, 20 people. I'm like, hey guys, click on this link and go get your free packs, thanks to Rage.
Yeah.
And I checked like 2 days later, it's like one person got a pack, and I'm like, this is a free thing. This guy just spent money for you all to do.
It's similar to the subs. I think Rage did the gifted subs on me as well, didn't you? On
Yeah.
Streamloots, I think at one point.
I bet if I look at it, there's probably still
Kane did
stuff
it.
there.
It took days to make people, like literally
Yeah.
days upon days upon days to make people go on there. And it's like, it's
Well,
not
they have
that
to want to
difficult.
interact with it too. I mean, if they're not
Yeah.
interested, they're not interested. I mean, it
Yeah, I
just
get
is what
that.
it is.
Like I totally
Yeah.
understand that too.
I don't think the streamer makes the money until it's claimed. I don't think so. It's kind of
Yeah.
sat there just waiting for that money to
Really?
be claimed.
Yeah, that's
think
why I
so,
told you
yeah.
not to like spend anything on Streamloots anymore because it hasn't been like claimed and stuff. Like I never got anything for it.
Huh?
Yeah.
Swinging back to the Twitch partner thing, what the one benefit to being a Twitch partner that I think is, I know you can do it as an affiliate, but it makes it like that people say how much money they must make, but the amount of work they go in behind to get like sponsors and stuff, like people think that sponsors just get thrown at them, and it's a complete opposite. They go out and they apply and they work and they
You have to
change
pursue
everything
it.
about their grind. Like to get a G Fuel
That's why I made
sponsorship,
that
they make you
tweet.
jump through fucking hoops. Like,
That's why I made
they
that
get-
tweet. Well, in G Fuel now they don't even do they don't let you apply for it anymore.
No,
like,
they ask
They come to
now.
you. Yeah, they come to
Yeah.
you.
I think Sneak do the same now as well. I think that's why you see people like when Blood was doing it, he was atting them so much and he was tagging them and everything, so they would approach him. Like you can get the affiliate link and like that little like 5% code or whatever it is, but to get like your own named code kind of thing, so like enter code,
You have to
mole sort
bring
of
them
thing,
in money.
they
Oh,
come
yeah.
to you for it. Like that's why people tag them for it. Then the
Mhm.
amount of work the partners put in for that is unbelievable. Even that on itself, without the streaming and making each stream different and unique and all special and all this jazz, it's like
Its own avenue almost.
it's no one. Like I was having this conversation in my stream yesterday with a certain somebody about how partners, they typically support other partners. They don't support smaller people because they need to help each other grow. And if a partner raided into, let's say, Selfless with his, I think it's at that 20 or something right now, like that's not going to help that partner grow. He might gain one follower from it, like, but that'd be about it. Like, it's not going to help him. So it's why you've got when you're supporting people, you have to do it around your same sort of size. And as greedy as it might sound, you're raiding people for the most part to make an impact. Which then, if you make that impact, it might bring somebody over to you new. You're not trying to steal people, but you're trying to impact them to the point of where they might find an interest to actually come and see you. And yeah, like partners have to look out for themselves to keep their numbers high. They can't be messing around with low numbers, very small streamers. They can't really mess around. Like the streamers that the partners that do interact with smaller streamers, you can guarantee that they're the partners that sit on really low numbers now, even though they're partners. You can guarantee that they're sat in the 30s and the 40s because they've spent more time with small streamers than they have with big, so they haven't really networked properly at the higher levels.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I put out that tweet the other day where it was like, because I've seen some people, man, where it's like, they're getting sponsorships, and it may be like an affiliate sponsor or something like that, which, like, in my own opinion, don't do an affiliate sponsorship. It's a pyramid scheme.
Affiliate is a pyramid. Yeah.
It's 100% a pyramid scheme. It is you, like, basically promoting their product, putting their stuff out there for you, all that stuff that's going on, and you're not, like, gonna see growth from it, in my opinion, unless you bring in stupid amounts of money for it. Like, then they'll push you to the top real quick. Ashley, thank you for the 5 months, by the way. Sorry I missed that. I'm not sure if you're still here or not, but my alerts and stuff weren't on. Hope you're doing well. But that's why, like, I put out that tweet where it was just like, is there some type of, like, trick, or is there something that, like, people are doing that may not be, like, known about to acquire sponsorships? Because like, some of the sponsorships I've recently gone after are not big companies. Like, they're not big companies. They're not G Fuel. They're not Sneak. There's things like that. But I've literally, like, emailed them, like, gone to their page, and if they had, like, a sponsorship program or something like that, I would apply through that. If not, I would send an email to them, and I basically explained, how I'm a content creator. I have platforms on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. Give them all my analytics of, like, activity. Like, I've actually put in screenshots and stuff over the past month, of, like, Twitter interactions, engagements, things like that. Talked about Team Pick Me Up, like, what I've done for a nonprofit, how we've grown, how many people around the world we have hosting events, to kind of show, like, oh, this is more of, like, a global thing. It's not just this little thing this guy does. And did never hear from him. I'd never hear from him. And, like, Smoke reached out to me and was like, hey, like, DM me and stuff, and we talked about it, and he gave me some, like, tips and stuff that may help. But it's just like, I told him, I was like, bro, like, with what my actual job is, like, I sit here and talk about situations and problem solve, like, $1 million issues, like, literally things that I do at work and help fix. It's like millions of dollars that go into this. And I'm like, I know if I can just get these people on the phone or schedule, like, a meeting with them, I can get them to understand, like, what it is I'm doing, and, like, get them to give me a chance. But, like, you can't even, I just feel like I can't ever get a hold of anybody or, like, hear from anybody. And I'm not going to, I know it's dumb to say this, but, like, I used to be part of Ray's Energy when I first came across them and saw them. And I think there was a month where, like, from the stuff that I was doing with my friends and things like that, like, I had like $400 come through with them. And then I saw they started putting in a TikTok thing where it was like, hey, we want content creators for TikTok. And if you're interested, like, fill this out. And I literally went to their page, printed off my analytics that I had done that previous month, submitted the application thing for a TikTok content creator to be, like, sponsored with them on there and stuff. Dude, never heard from them. And the only thing that I like, followed up, second email, after that second email, I got a thing back saying, oh, hey, we noticed you haven't purchased a starter kit before. You can get one for $99. And I was just like, done. Like, done.
See ya.
Like, never talking about this sponsor again. Like,
I've seen an email from Rogue, not an email, a tweet from Rogue Energy the other day. It was like, so who's going to be our next sponsor, with, like, the looking eyes? And I just commented underneath, I was like, well, if it's not an affiliate program, because I've already been a part of that, then hell yeah, sign me up for a
I think I saw
sponsorship.
that tweet. Yeah. I think I saw that.
and they never replied. They've replied to everyone else in their comments, but not me. And it's kind of convenient that I'm the only one saying about like if it's not an affiliate program, and they're like, "Nah, we ignore you."
Half-Pint. What up, Half-Pint?
I did get a reply from Displate though once when I emailed them about a sponsorship.
Yeah.
And they said like they were like we do sponsorships, but unfortunately not to people of your level. And I replied simply, I was just they obviously worded it quite well, and not just like not at your level.
And it's like, get out of here, you pleb streamer.
But like, I then replied to him, and I was like, "Thank you for taking the time out to reply to me. I really do appreciate it." Yada yada yada. And they replied, "No problem at all." And they actually gave me a month's free of Displate Club membership because I reached out and they rejected me, but I took it in my stride, and I was like, "That's amazing." That sort of
to me though,
that's amazing.
That's something that I would invest myself in, because I would want to like know more about like the fact that they emailed you and said, "Hey, like appreciate you reaching out, but like your platform or like size of platform is not something we're like interested in." That's fine, but that gives you the opportunity then to come back to them and say, "Well, what are some things that you all acquire or you look into to partner somebody?" Because then that now gives you a goal, like something to work for and stuff.
Yeah.
And whereas if you never hear from anything, it's just like, okay, like, do I have to have 60 million followers or something to like get this company?
Even if it's just like a pipe dream and they're just like leading you down a line where they're saying, "Yeah, if you hit this, we might consider giving you a partner." It's like they might not actually ever have any intention of giving you a partner, but it still will help you grind towards that goal. Like, and it'll be a bit of a kick in the dick when you get there. But if you've got to the point where you're like fucking nearly partner on Twitch or something, yeah.
Thank you for the 3 months. I appreciate that. Thank you for the raid too. What were you streaming, by the way? It's not gonna show it because it's a thing. Wait, what she just put in the chat? I saw it just pop up for a second.
Mole is showing that chest there like a pimp.
Hell yeah, he is. Why don't you play with it for us? Split gate from.
Oh, I've got you up twice now, Selfless. I was doing the lurky turkey in there.
What up, Silent Geek? What up? What up?
Seeing someone play from PS though kind of hurts my eyes.
Silent Geek. What?
That's a name that hasn't been around for a minute. He's been popping it.
I don't think I've ever seen that name.
That's a guy I work with. He's been around since like the OG days and stuff.
Ah, nice.
Braid it, Mole.
Can you braid it for me?
Braid it. That's true. Yeah.
That would probably hurt.
It's not that long. It's literally I get hair everywhere, but it's never very long except from on my head. Not on about my pee-pee, you disgusting bastard.
Oh god!
Someone wax the mole hair.
What the fuck was that laugh?
Yeah, that was random, little Jacob. It was like he fell asleep. It was like he fell asleep, and then like we woke him back up, and he just laughed.
Nah, I didn't fall asleep.
That could be.
Come and give it a pull.
But yeah, like, so that's kind of like what we wanted to discuss today was when you hit your affiliate status, your partnership status, and things like basically the difference between payouts in the US compared to that of the UK. It's, man, I'm not gonna lie, like for you all, like Bunny and Mole, that made me sick to my stomach. Like, it really just made me sick to my stomach actually hearing.
One of those things where you definitely wish you had started out on YouTube. 100%. Like, if I'd started on YouTube, like I think it's like 80% or something on YouTube for the revenue split, but it just takes a lot of fucking work to get there.
But see, that's why we talked about too in like a previous episode. If you were going to start streaming, like what are some things that you would recommend to a person starting out? And that's why I personally said I started out straight on Twitch and did everything backwards. Like I just went live, had no content creation anywhere else. It's like I really wouldn't know now. Like I would have spent honestly a year or two pumping out a crap ton of content on YouTube, TikTok, all that stuff, and then went live. And not say it could have benefited me any other way. You know,
live and you learn, you know.
But yeah, exactly. But that's stuff that we're trying to share with people who are starting out, may not realize like kind of what's going on. But yeah, yeah, there's definitely like Twitch payout. It's kind of universal from like a standpoint of the company of like affiliates get 50-50, but it's not in the sense of where you're located. So from what we've learned from our UK friends here and stuff, like, yeah, they get a 50-50 split, but then there's also a conversion fee, and they after that 50% they're supposed to get, they get a conversion fee, which is also then, you know, a lower cut as well. So that's very just, it's disheartening, man. But you better have pasties on under there, buddy. You're gonna be flashing.
Pasties?
Yeah, you're gonna be flashing them nips.
I've got a pasty stomach. Does that count?
I mean, you're a pretty pasty boy. I'm not gonna lie. So,
Mate, people just like my milk texture, you know. So, milk complexion, not texture. I don't know why I said texture.
bro, it looks
What,
like
you curdled?
Oh my
Fucking
god.
curdled. That's fucking. This milk's long gone off. What are you talking about? Just fucking.
Sorry at Selfless Gaming for being a bad influence. Oh, half pint. Never apologize.
This milk's been left out in the sun and is about 2 years too old.
Never apologize whatsoever.
Never.
Mo looks like one of those people who go to a blood drive and forget to eat like the cookies and drink OJ after they've just donated blood. That's what he currently looks like. They're like, sir, are you okay? Are you gonna pass out? Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm gonna pass out, alright, because you're an obnoxious asshole. Smell it all the way over here.
I mean, yeah. That wouldn't surprise me, actually. So that wouldn't surprise me, actually. It was a sweaty day today in the plant, so.
You mean bastard.
But yeah, so to kind of wrap it up, okay? Quickly, I guess. So in the US, when you hit affiliate through Twitch and stuff, you get a 1099. Make sure that you plan for those taxes and stuff at the end of the year. Like Rage said earlier and stuff, like it's been suggested 30%, everything, like basically take a third of whatever it is you're making each month, put it aside, because at the end of the year, you're going to pay those taxes.
Separate account would probably be best, just so you know not to touch it if that's where it came from.
I think that's key. Because honestly, like when I had it tied to like my original bank account and that would go in there, it was just like I didn't even look at Twitch sometimes in the first year and a half. It was just like, oh, I got this much in my bank account, you know, like, and half that stuff would be spent. It's like, oh shit, I didn't set this aside for something. So living, you learned. We talked about LLCs. If you have the ability, like you have a good initial return monthly for your Twitch streaming and stuff, especially here in the United States, talk to an accountant. Look at how you could possibly turn your streaming into an LLC, make yourself a small business, small content creator. And we talked briefly about like things that you can write off and everything, like how you can actually write things off. So that's a lot of things I've learned this year. But then we also talked about how, yeah, there is a 50-50 split for, you know, Twitch streaming affiliates, but yet our friends over across the pond have a conversion fee, and so it's actually like they get hit twice essentially. Bro, what are you over there giggling about? Like you're like trying to cover your face, but like you're not doing a good job of it.
Well, you know, I mentioned that tweet that I made earlier that Rifles replied to. I'm not going to mention what it was about.
Yeah.
I replied back.
Somebody
just replied saying he's also like a plague or like a minor cold.
Oh my god. Oh
yeah.
I guess feelings are coming out. So
yeah, they're starting to show.
Oh my god. That's actually.
Here's where everyone goes over to my Twitter now. Who are they talking about?
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna start. Your like your interactions are gonna go through the roof after this podcast.
Oh no.
Also, guys, don't forget to get a mic, a good mic.
Yes.
Like they were saying about audio. Because then you end up sounding like you're talking in a phone booth for like the first few months of streaming.
Bro.
It's terrible.
Hey,
it sounds terrible.
Well, Jacob,
I used to hate listening to my VODs because of it.
Do you have like any old clips of that? Like any old clips of your setup and stuff?
What, me?
No, little Jacob.
Oh, Jacob. Oh, yeah.
I might. I'd have to go back and look, maybe.
Because I want to do, like, I was thinking at the end of this year, like, going through all the stuff that I've had posted and stuff, and, like, showing, like, a progressive change in my setup.
That would be cool.
And stuff, and show, like, how much I've grown as a streamer. I still suck as a streamer, but, like...
You never really see my setup, to be fair. Nobody ever sees my setup.
But it's just, like, the quality. Like, the quality of stuff,
quality,
you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I found an old clip the other day, and I saw it, and I was like, "Holy shit! This is like terrible. Like, what was I thinking? How did I think this was a good idea? You know?
Well, I used to stream through remote play, so you'd like wirelessly play your PlayStation on your PC through remote play. So it'd be like I was playing through my PC but with my PlayStation, and that's what I used to stream with. And the amount of lag and just like you can go and watch my self promotion here, guys. Go watch my Last of Us playlist on YouTube, and you can see it. Like you can see the lag, how quiet everything is, how like bitty and pixelated it all is. Because I wanted to stream with overlays, but not pay like the £4 a month or whatever it was for Lightstream. So it was or stream Lightstream something.
Lightstream, yeah.
Where you can get overlays and stuff. But I had a camera and everything. But yeah, it was just yeah. I'm ashamed that it's on my YouTube. But it's a full playlist that my friend did the editing for me and stuff. So I didn't want to get rid of it. So, yeah.
I got you. Yeah, we're gonna kind of wrap this up. I am selfless_gaming for those of you that don't know. Find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Hover, all that fun jazz. Rage, we'll kind of start with you and loop back around this way.
RageInducedComa. You can find me on Twitch.com.
Mr. Making a whippy cone out of your hair.
Mine's simple. You got it. Next.
What's up, guys? Little Jacob. It's little with the 3 instead of an E. Get me on TikTok, Twitch, Twitter. I have a Facebook page as well. If you use Facebook, I don't know as much, but if you hit me up on there, I'll get the notification. Let me know.
Moltan with an underscore on Twitch and TikTok, and then Moltan TV on Twitter, and just Moltan on YouTube.
Is that the sign for underscore?
What?
You just went like
What you
this, like. All right.
My
Learn-
hands do their own thing, all right? I'm very
I
expressive.
thought I
with
was
my
doing
hands.
some Naruto stuff.
Learn something new every day.
Might as well be Italian, you know. All the way
I'm doing this every stream we start. Don't forget your underscores.
Yes.
Buddy.
Tell me about broken knuckles. I look at that. I can't straighten my fingers out.
Jesus Christ, bro. Is that like rigor mortis or some shit?
I used to do boxing and shit, man. I broke my knuckles about 20 times.
I've
Not
actually
very good
broken
at punching,
my
apparently.
right hand like 5 times. Sucks.
That's funny.
I punched a cow in the head once as well. That hurt. Sorry, cow.
Bunny, I don't know if you're are you there, Bunny?
Bunny.
You may not be there. You guys can find Bunny at NoFearBunny on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch as well. And I think she has a YouTube. I'm not sure.
No, I think she's going to make a YouTube.
Going to make a YouTube.
Check it out.
YouTube
She
TBD.
might be there.
YouTube TBD for No Fear Bunny.
She might be there.
2024. I think it's timeline. So
2026, I heard.
2026. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, one other thing I too want to bring up is I know we do this podcast every Friday. We usually start at 6 p.m. EST. Me and little Jacob, we have our own little side project as well. It's called Selfless Little Gaming. For any sports enthusiast here that come across the channel as well, there's a separate YouTube video like breakdown for that. That's where we talk about a lot of our sports backgrounds and things like that. Like fantasy football's coming up. NFL season started last night with the Hall of Fame game. So we do college breakdowns, professional breakdowns. We'll give you guys like your best overall chance from our opinions week to week for fantasy. Pretty good. Pretty goated, not gonna lie. Won a couple championships.
Win some money.
Yeah. Get my time. Just saying.
Oh, God, take them off.
Never.
Oh,
Play
God,
off 3 years in a row so far in fantasy football.
That's right, baby. That's right.
3 years in a row, including 1 championship. You guys.
He looks like he's just got off a motorbike. He's about to go fly a fighter jet. That's what he looks like right now. Like, I got you, boy. And then Selfish just looks like he drives one of them hover boats in the fucking in the lakes with the alligators.
Hey. Hey, you talk all that shit,
Boys
but you're gonna call me
fishing.
when your ass is in the swamp.
Swamp, that's it. That's a lake.
Pick
Why
you
did I
up.
say lake?
I don't know why you said like. But did you make that
You
clip?
know what
I told
mean,
you.
Don't you?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. Hey, boys, we're down here in the bayou. Let's go. Like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Did you make that clip?
What clip?
Nope.
I clipped it for you in your stream when you guys were all on the hoverboat and you're driving up on land in PUBG.
Yeah. I'm gonna be making it. It's gonna be the down down.
Gotcha.
Down down. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's gonna wrap it up for us on this episode. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Thank you all for the raids too. Kaboosh, Half Pint, Ashley, thank you for the resubscription. Half Pint, thank you for the resubscription as well. We appreciate you guys. I know we're not like, partners or anything like that, but we're all just trying to share our Twitch journeys and experiences with you all, especially for new people that are starting out. It may not lead to anything. It may help you grow in some aspect, but that's what we're trying to do ultimately here. Just help everybody grow. So y'all be good. Let's see. Who y'all want to go? Who's the target? Who we raiding?
From what I can see, you've got Luna doing a birthday stream. You've got Tiggs playing Overwatch. Fishman, Valorant.
Go Luna. Birthday love.
Let's go.
We want to get we're there.
Posting them in there.
We gotta get Mole in the sports cast one time so he can put us all down on the other football.
Think about your guys.
I mean, we could get his take on the football. What is it, European leagues or whatever? What are y'all
European league?
Call it over there. What's your y'all's league over there?
I hate you. I actually hate you.
I don't know. I literally just said I don't know anything about it.
Fucking European league.
The game
Premier
where you guys.
League.
What is it? Premier League?
Premier League, yeah.
Okay. I don't know, bro. Let's call it little footsie ball y'all play.
Little footsie ball. Footsie ball's inside indoor soccer, thank you very much. And you know.
Oh, is it? No, I actually did not know that. That's actually a new thing.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, no idea.
But footsie ball is inside. Footsie is inside soccer. Indoor soccer.
Gotcha. We just call it indoor soccer here.
I don't know why it's called footsie. I don't know what the difference is, but.
All right, get those emotes and stuff spamming. Let's go show her some birthday hype. It actually is her birthday today. It's not a troll. So.
Stream Elements isn't sub. That's why it's coming up as letters.
Oh, okay.
Fucking stupid that has to be subbed.
That is stupid. But yeah, let's go. You guys
get out of here.
always
Much
remember, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. And
hey, look at that. You're raiding out with more than what your viewer count says.
is it really?
That's a special kind of embedding.
I definitely paid for that bot, baby. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
I paid that premium package. I didn't do that 30-day trial crap. All right. Love y'all. Have a good weekend. We'll see you.
That was rude.
Hey, man, if you're going to cheat the system, then cheat the system. Invest in yourself.
Jesus Christ, she's at 278.
Mm.
Fucking hell.